I'm bored. Let's read a book. Oh!
Antonin couldn't distort what I saw, but he could prevent me from sensing anything at all, except for the feel of chaos itself. That meant there was something to sense. Just 'cause why not? I would have liked to create a good, solid thunderstorm, but with chaos ahead, using energy wasn't a good idea. Besides, while I resented Justin's comments about frivolity becoming chaos, I had listened, and I couldn't think of an orderly reason for the rain. Had there been an artificially caused drought, use of my talents to create rain might enhance the order. Maybe. Gerlach's protest jerked my head back toward the road that slowly rose before us, perhaps for another K. Studying the few trees, scraggly conifers, and pines growing at helter-skelter intervals from out of the knee-high mountain grass, I could see nothing lurking around or behind them, nor was anything visible on the upslope before us. Right-handed, I flicked the reins. Come on. We don't have anywhere else to go, old fellow. He whinnied. No, we don't. I extended my left hand toward the staff. Still safe and waiting in the saddle holder. Ooh. The subjective heat flashed my fingers before they even reached the black lorcan of my staff. Something was definitely waiting over the crest of the road. I wiped my forehead, suddenly sweating in the cold glare of the winter sun. He whinnied again. I know, there are evil types in front of us. Again, I tried to sense what lay over the hill crest before me, whatever it was that Gerlach disliked. All I could feel was a sense of heat, of the fire that was Antonin's trademark. I glanced at the hillside to the left and right of the road. Did I really have to keep to it? A quick survey answered that question. All those short and gently sloping meadows ended in piles of jumbled rock at the base of rocky slopes that would have taxed a mountain sheep. I looked again, realizing belatedly what had happened, shaking my head as I did. Once the pass had been a standard narrow gap or just a solid wall of rock, then something, a long time ago, perhaps as far back as when Candor had not been united under the wizards of Fairhaven, had blasted through. Not only had they built the wizards' road, but they had rearranged the entire geography. Maybe, just maybe, Magister Cherona had been right. I definitely didn't like that thought. With the help of the weather and time, the sheer facings had crumbled, leaving what seemed to be a narrow, natural ravine running into the Westthorns. But any crumbled rock had been periodically removed from the road surface. Under Gerlach's hooves was the same white road surface, the same wizard stone that paved the streets of Friven. Not that any of that exactly helped, as Gerlach and I proceeded toward the crest of the pass, toward that narrow gap in the sheer stone wall that towered hundreds of cubits upward. Gerlach whinnied again. On the edge of the hard surface lay a brownish square, the tattered remains of a pack or something, and in the higher grass behind, fragments of white. I swallowed. Gerlach's step skittered. I know. I chucked the reins again and looked up. Ahead, around half a cave ahead, blocking the entrance to the narrow pass, was a troop. A white-clad, white-faced wizard troop of warriors. Soldiers. At least they all had weapons that glinted in the near noon sun. I wiped my forehead again with the black of my sleeve. In front of silent, ghost-white apparitions rode a knight on, what else? A white horse. The horse, over 4 cubits at the shoulder, stood there in plate armor reflected the sunlight. Knights had never enjoyed much success except in service of chaos, but that much plate was a wonderful place in which to concentrate fire. Of course, this knight had probably served chaos far longer than he had ever wanted to. Dang knight. In more ways than one, I knew behind him waited a pack of armed figures, not exactly men. Unhappily, each of those fingers carried a sword, which glinted and looked razor sharp. The helmet's visor was down, and he carried a lance pointed in my direction. The lance looked to be a solid pole with a glistening white chaos-tipped tip, if you will. My possibility of Antonon's tactics did not make them less effective. The white horse lifted one hoof, then another, carrying the silent knight toward me at an even pace. No spring in his steps and no wavering. The knight said nothing. Easy. The white-haired, white-faced, white-clothed figures began to walk also, their armor creaking like unoiled doors, without rhythm, without order, their swords almost flapping to an unseen and unheard breeze. Gerlach kept moving, if slowly. I know it wasn't exactly my idea either. Farther ahead in the grass to the right of the road were some more white fragments. I glanced from the ghosts to the bones and the tethered leathers. My eyes scanned the rest of the high grass, glimpsing a few other remnants of the other travelers. The bones were real, so not all the figures could be illusions. But were they all real? My senses didn't say, because the blankness that enclosed the pass ahead foiled that. Still, I grinned, half scared, half elated, and flicked the reins, then dropped them on the saddle, grabbing the staff with both hands as Gerlach trotted toward the knight, and I bounced along with him. The knight's lance came up slowly, almost as if drawn toward the staff, the white tip glinting in the light, red behind the white of chaos. A line of fire flew toward me, spattering off my staff. Gerlach carried me towards the lance. The second fire line curved toward us, again spraying around me. I noticed the slow-moving lance aside, then struck the rear flank of the white horse. Holding the staff in my left hand, I grabbed the reins and yanked Gerlach into a halt. Like a snuffed candle, the other white apparitions had vanished, leaving only the knight and horse, which, as I watched, sagged into a heap on the road, dwindling in size until only a piece of copper armor remained. That and a long wooden lance with a still sharpened tip. The dead zone remained, and I could sense nothing except with my eyes. Nor could I hear anything, no bird calls, no whistle of the wind, not the slightest of insect chirps or whines. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of my videos. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye!